5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Welcome to the gayest podcast ever.
Hello there, and welcome to the gayest podcast ever. My name is Josh, and I'm here with
Eric
and CJ.
Thank you all for tuning in to our very first episode of Gayest Podcast Ever. We're very excited to have you, where we talk about all things pop culture related, from today's entertainment news to current events to everything from yesterday to today. We're just really excited, and we love talking and
gossiping.
yeah, everything super gay. So, welcome. Our first topic for today is going to be Billboard Songs of the Summer. This is something that I've been watching for years. I'm obsessed with Billboard. I subscribe. I get their emails. Do you guys ever watch Billboard or do
No,
anything?
you're my Billboard communication.
I don't know. Obviously we love summer songs, but
I don't know what
as far
songs
as
to listen to until you guys are like, oh, this is the new song.
So, Billboard does something called Songs of the Summer, and what it does is the song does not need to be released during the summer. What it does is it tracks the popularity of the song from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day weekend, and whatever song accumulates the most radio play, downloads, Spotify listens, Pandora listens, YouTube listens, is considered like the song of the summer. And this year, I'm really upset.
Oh, God.
Because it's that Old Town Road.
Oh.
I get it. I mean,
You need to calm down.
it's so catchy though, and I can't stand the song. Anytime it comes on, I want to just change the station, but I still listen to it because, first of all, Lil Nas X, he's a family member. Just came out as gay.
I know, and I feel really, really bad that I hate it
Yeah.
so much. And I was like, I should be supportive of this gay man.
But as far as it's very repetitive. It's very catchy. But the best part, it brought us back to Billy Ray Cyrus.
Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart.
Yes.
No, that's what Songs of
Who
the Summer...
produced one of the greatest pop stars of all time?
Oh, Miley.
Right?
I thought you meant musically produced. And then I was like, oh, he means literally.
I mean, the Lady Miley Cyrus.
Hannah Montana. Ashley O.
Mrs. Hemsworth, if you would.
I'm down with that.
Yes.
But so this Old Town Road, right? And so it came out with just Lil Nas X. Then they remixed it with Billy Ray Cyrus, and that just like completely just like skyrocketed it even more. But the other thing is, so it just also recently broke the record for the longest #1 hit at Billboard, beating Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men, One Sweet Day, which is
That's
like
insane.
iconic in my head.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, that's a song. Mariah wrote that. It was brilliant. You can listen to it today. It could be on the radio today. I feel like Old Town Road's we're gonna hear it in a few years and be like, oh yeah, I remember this song, and that'll be it.
But pop country, it always comes through that little phase. Like, do you remember when Tim McGraw did that song with Nelly? Like, and it was huge.
over and over again?
Yeah, like, it was huge for, like, that 3-month period, and then nobody ever listened to
And
it
again, it's gonna come on now, and we're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember this song. I'm not gonna.
I mean, you can sing along if there's nothing else on.
I don't think that Over and Over Again was Song of the Summer, but I thought I would let you know what some of the previous songs of the summer were, just for some good comparison.
Real quick before you go into that, I just want to say though, if Dolly Parton does a remix of Old Town Road, I'm in for that because it's Dolly Parton.
Who do you think would be the pop star on it, though?
Well, I mean, it's going to be the same song, but Dolly Parton's going to be a remix.
Oh, got
Like
it.
a third verse.
Yeah.
Got
Dolly.
it.
She said that she would be down for it, and she is the godmother of Miss Miley.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right, so what are your other songs?
All right, so 2018. I'll go a recap, and we'll also talk about what I think should be Song of the Summer. So 2018, the #1 was "In My Feelings" by Drake. The runner-up. I'm also going to give you the runner-up because I don't care for that one either. So maybe I lost some of the summer.
I'm not a fan of
I
that.
couldn't even. So I don't know what it goes. How's it go?
I don't know what that one goes like either.
So it's obviously not a good one.
Well, this is not The Voice, so do not sing.
no. So
That's related.
"Girls Like You" by Maroon 5 and Cardi B.
Okay,
was
yes.
also, which was huge.
That still, yeah, I would hear
But
that
it's,
today. And that'd
it's
be
not a
fine.
bop.
Meh.
I would hear it today though, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I like this jam.
All right, so 2017 was Despacito, which
Of
was
course.
everywhere, and I loved it. I mean, it was like...
I loved it, and then they overplayed it and killed it in like 2 weeks.
But
and I
wasn't
was
that
like,
the
I'm
previous
done.
#1 though? Before Old Town Road? Wasn't it?
Despacito also tied One Sweet Day.
tied,
I believe
okay.
it did tie. I don't recognize that. Mariah had it first. So 2016 was One Dance by Drake. That one I do know.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
the one
There's a
Dance.
lot of Drake on here.
The runner-up for 2016, though, which I feel is like even more of a little bop, is "Can't Stop the Feeling" by Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Can't stop anything by Justin Timberlake. Come on.
Th-
Like,
That is definitely a bop.
yeah.
2015 was "Cheerleader" by Ami. Like I remember hearing that,
yes.
but I don't remember hearing it a lot.
I couldn't sing it right now, but I'll.
Yeah, 2015 was also a wash.
It was also
2014 was "Fancy" by Iggy Azalea. Yeah, so
Okay.
fancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The run-up was that "Rude" song, which I hated.
Why you gotta be so rude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marry me, and she's like, I don't want to.
So these are the top summer
Songs.
songs.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
happened to Little Since You Been
Okay.
Gone by Kate Clarkson?
So, and I feel like it really hit its prime in like 08 to 12. Wait till I get to these songs. So 2013 was "Blurred Lines," which
Okay,
was
Classic,
everywhere.
yeah.
2012 was "Call Me Maybe."
Of course,
Call Me
yes.
Baby was like
That's a
the
song.
blow-up
Yeah.
song of the summer.
Yeah. And the run-up to that one was "Payphone," which I felt like also was heard a lot. But
See, Maroon 5's one of those bands where, I mean, I don't mind looking at Adam Levine. Love him, but I'm like, I'm just not really into their music so much.
and they're just a big force at like adult contemporary radio.
Yeah.
So that's where they get a lot of spins.
Got
And
it.
I'll also break down how that works into how this is formulated. 2011 is "Party Rock Anthem."
Shots, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now this is where it gets really good. All right, so 2010 was "California Girls" by Katy Perry.
I just heard it the other day. It was like a Friday Feels. Brought back the entire summer for me.
And that Teenage Dream album was
When I
so good.
still drive my Jeep and the top's off and Katy Perry comes on, I'm
Yes.
like, I want to be a California girl.
Yeah. 2009, "I Got a Feeling" by Black Eyed Peas.
Amazing.
Which
Yes.
is now going to be played at every wedding for the rest of our lives.
Still want to have a good night.
2008, "I Kissed a Girl" by Katy Perry.
Still a song.
I still like it. I still like Katy Perry. Yeah.
And that was pretty big for the time, I think.
2007, "Umbrella" by Rihanna.
Well, that
Yes.
was a huge
Yeah.
year.
2006, "Promiscuous" by Nelly Furtado,
Okay,
Justin
yes.
Timberlake, and Timbaland. And I feel like 2006.
Timbaland, man. What happened to him?
I know Justin Timberlake stopped working with him.
All right.
I don't know. Before that, all the songs were kind of slower. You know, like "We Belong Together," although "Crazy in Love"
What was the year 2000? That was my graduation. Me and CJ's graduation year.
was probably.
Is it Vitamin C?
Is it Vitamin C? Yeah.
Oh, it's my boy.
Who?
"Bent" by Matchbox 20. I love me some
I
Matchbox
can see.
20.
Yeah, I get that.
Rob.
I get that.
Yeah.
Promise.
The runner-up was "It's Gonna Be Me"
Of course.
Yes.
by NSYNC. 1999, I was kind of shocked because this is where like this is where pop comes in real heavy in radio. "Genie in a Bottle" was the song of the summer of 1999. With then "If You Had My Love" by J-Lo.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Back up, back up. Are you telling me that Christina was the song of the summer and not your precious Britney?
I don't-
The year that it came out? Isn't that the year Britney debuted?
I don't think Britney's ever been in the top 10 of songs of the summer.
I mean, deserved. Absolutely.
Well,
Britney's more of a
Auto-tune?
performer than a radio single person. But yeah. But so 1999, "Genie in a Bottle," "If You Had My Love," "Bills, Bills, Bills," "I Want It That Way" by Backstreet Boys, "Where My Girls At" by 702. Where My Girls At
Jesus.
from the front.
where are all the boy bands? I miss the boy
All,
bands.
All Star by Smash Mouth.
Not
Wild
that
Wild
boy band.
West by Will Smith. "It's Not Right But It's Okay" by Whitney. Rest in peace,
Whitney. She's still my
Was
queen.
that her last big jam?
It might.
She had a song come out before her death,
Well,
but
girl,
it
you
didn't.
can go see her hologram concert now.
Yes.
We're not doing that. I refuse to support that.
Unless she's doing a line of coke on stage as a hologram, I'm not about it.
Oh, she went there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she died in the winter.
All right. So I also just want to tell you, so how this Hot 100 formula comprises of, and it's changed recently. So the Hot 100 formula, which is like how like the number one song that 17 weeks, incorporates 35 to 45% of sales, 30 to 40% of airplay, and 20 to 30% of streaming. Okay. And the streaming is where it gets a little funky.
So, but that's a new aspect.
Correct.
So, what year did they add the streaming?
2013.
2013. Okay.
And then in 2018, they started weighing the streaming.
Okay.
And when I say weighing, account paid subscription, like an Apple Music and Amazon Music, gets a full point. Okay, in their
And that makes
count.
sense. Yeah.
Ad supported, like Pandora, gets 2/3 a point. And then anything that you can just do and skip an ad, like a YouTube, gets a half a point.
So, do you guys still buy actual CDs, or is everything digital?
They don't
for
even
you?
have cars, or they don't even have them in their cars anymore. The 2019 vehicles
That's
don't even
true.
have them.
My car's a 2015, doesn't have a CD player.
So, Steve, my husband, still buys CDs to this day.
Oh, which Harmony House does he shop at?
What was the
Columbia
Sam
House?
Goody.
Columbia House?
Sam Goody.
Sam Goody.
FYE.
He's always like, "Oh, I found this great CD single online, and I bought it. It was like $2." I'm like, "There's a reason why that was $2."
It's like the singles at 7-Eleven they used to sell for the one-hit wonders.
You can download that online for 99 cents, and then you have it forever.
Oh my gosh. But so this is why I feel Old Town Road is so of all the songs that right now in the top, let's say the top 5 of this Songs of the Summer playlist right now, Old Town Road is number 1. It's hit 602 million streams on YouTube.
That's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
It's only been out for 17 weeks. So the number 2 is that Bad Guy by that Billie Eilish.
I'm not a fan of hers
I don't
because
get it.
everything sounds like a nightmare. I feel like her entire album sounds like the soundtrack from a horror film. It's all very dark and just
It's the very opposite of like what Taylor Swift
Yes.
is doing, and I get, it's a market, but
it's art. I mean, get it?
Taylor Swift, she gives me life.
yeah, Taylor's not. And the other thing is like, in this top 100 that they're trying to combat, like this Old Time Round that's been holding it for 17 weeks. There's been like 6 songs that have debuted at number 2 that would have debuted at number 1 had it not been for Old Town Road.
Right.
And it's Taylor Swift, both of her songs, the Me and the You Need to Calm Down, the Shawn Mendes, and then Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello, and then Katy Perry. Like there's all these people are putting Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber.
Right.
They're like putting out these heavy hitter pop songs, and they can't crack that Old Town Road.
But the thing is, next year, what songs are we going to remember? It's not going to be Old Town Road. It's going to be
I barely know it now.
Senorita.
So what it comes down for me is what I feel the song of the summer,
Summer.
Song of the summer should be, and this is because of "Sucker" by Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
Or I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. I'm just kidding.
But they weren't doing songs of the summer back in the '80s. I wanted to go back. They did kind of figure it out somehow, but Nielsen didn't take over to 1991. And like the first one was like Mariah Carey, "Vision of Love," which is one of my all-time favorites.
But Jonas Brothers, talk about a comeback. They're and they say it. Is it cool that they say it in? They're living their best year or whatever?
Yeah.
They're getting married to these like great, amazing stars.
And that's why I feel like the
Nick
Sucker.
Jonas has a dad bod now,
Right.
which I'm all for.
Thank you.
God bless Instagram.
Thank
Right.
you, Nick, for that. Stay the way you are, boo-boo.
Yeah, never change. Always stay the same. But yeah, so like between the music video, which is I feel like just like so good, that music video with their wives and like the kind of like high end art risque nouveau.
I mean, she ties Joe Jonas up in his underwear. Like, come on.
Thank you.
Hot.
Yeah, same. And even the girl. I mean, Priyanka was a former Miss Universe contestant. Like,
Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah.
She was on
Go, girl.
Quantico, which I didn't. I watched a little bit of the first season.
watched
Steve
the
was
first season.
really
Same,
big
first
into it.
season.
She did have a single that came out, which it wasn't on the radio. It was definitely not a summer hit, but it's catchy. I dig it. I mean, she can sing, she can act, she can sing. She's married to a hot guy. Is that the trifecta?
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like Nick Jonas is kind of like the Justin Timberlake. Like, he is
Yes.
a trifecta. Like,
Yes.
he can act, he can sing, he can dance, he can do it all. Like,
Watch out, America.
and
Correct.
then we have Joe, who can sing.
And then he married a Stark.
Yeah, good for you.
Queen of the North.
Yes.
And then we have Kevin, who can play guitar.
Yep.
Good job.
Good job, Kevin.
He's having babies. All right. So do you have any thoughts on like singles or songs that you've heard this summer or in the last that you felt like, or are you okay with Old Town Road?
I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not like searching for it to play it. I mean, I'll just turn on the radio. It'll be on one station. But I'm okay with it, I guess.
I'm not. Okay, so it's going to come on. I'm going to sing it. I'm going to listen to it every time. But as far as remember it next year, no. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, this was such a jam back in 2019. No. I'm going to think Taylor's going to come on. Shawn Mendes is going to come on. Jonas Brothers are going to come on. I'm going to be like, I remember what I was doing that summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So that was these are my thoughts on the songs of the summer of 2019. there's still, I guess, a few weeks left to go, but I don't see anything. I don't see Old Town Road going anywhere, and he just keeps remixing it. So you're right. I'll probably see it with Dolly or Miley or
Pitbull.
watch her pull one over on me, and, like put Nick Jonas in it and force me to listen to it.
Congratulations, Little Nas
Yes,
X.
living your best life.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Now get off my radio.
All right, CJ, what do you got for us?
All right, so we talked recently about Stranger Things. I know Josh has watched it, although you're not a fan. Eric does not watch it. Obviously, he's not a fan. But I finished it recently, and at the end of it, there's going to be spoilers here, so if you don't want to hear anything about Stranger Things, just go to the other room and
Turn it off now.
Make a drink. No, don't turn it off. Just go make a drink and then come back. I'll be done. But at the end of the season, they introduced a gay character, Robin, who throughout the season, everyone thinks is going to be Steve's love interest. However, twist, at the end, she says, I like girls. Well, the most interesting about that was it really got me thinking about gay representation in pop culture and TV shows, which Stranger Things right now, huge, especially something that has kids. But the biggest thing that what made me think was Robin, the character, and I can't think of the actress's name. I actually meant to look her up.
It's the child. It's the child of
yes, wait.
He's really cute. She's really hot. Gwyneth Paltrow. No, sorry, I take that back.
No.
The other tall blonde, Uma Thurman.
Oh, and Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, I forgot
Maya
all
Hawke.
about that.
Maya
Yes.
Hawke. Okay.
So,
Like, how old is Apple? I was like,
wrong person.
yeah.
But her character throughout the whole thing was very strong. She was intelligent. I mean, she was learning Russian. She was speaking Russian. She was very strong. She was a fighter. But at the end of it, she really struggled coming out. And I thought, well, that's weird. But I thought it was very interesting for the character to do that because the whole show takes place in the 80s. So in the 80s, it was a little bit different. We just didn't come out to our friends and be like, oh, hey, girl. I like boys. I like girls. I kissed a girl and I liked it, whatever.
I was 4 in 1989.
1989?
I was 4 in 1989.
Well,
I
I guess.
you said 1999. I was like, nice
no.
try.
Yeah, that's why I repeat. It's like, wait. I was 7.
I was 7.
Eric was 7. So it was weird because, especially at the time, I guess.
But did you know already then? Did you know you liked boys?
You know, I knew I was something different, but I don't know if I really got around to just. I don't know if I knew what gay was in the 80s. Obviously, at the time, AIDS was a big issue. It was just really becoming a thing. We had George Michael. We had Boy George. Queen was still relevant then, which, by the way, I just watched Bohemian Rhapsody. Amazing.
Oh, it was such a good
But I won't get into that. But anyways, it made me think, like, okay, so what were some of the TV shows I was growing up that I was watching that had an influence on me with a gay character? I think the first one I thought was Will and Grace. Was there any that you guys can think of besides that?
I mean, I definitely had my crushes, but we'll get to that one. I want to talk about my stuff.
Well, like gay-wise, I'll never forget when Jack on Dawson's Creek kissed his boyfriend.
Yes.
And that was the first time that I saw two men kissing on screen. And it was like, oh, I'm into this.
Like mine was Will and Grace.
Well, I think for me...
It actually couldn't because I looked it up, and Dawson's Creek was the first man-on-man kiss on
Yeah, but
TV.
I didn't watch Dawson's Creek until I was in college.
So, got you.
I didn't watch Dawson's Creek religiously until I found out there was a gay character, and that was probably about the time I knew then for sure. To me, the first thing was The Real World. And so not really Pedro, though. Like, I understood, I guess, at that age that Pedro was gay. I think the main thing that Pedro had was he was HIV positive, and he was struggling with AIDS. But Danny on New Orleans.
I was hoping,
oh my God!
I was hoping you were going to say that.
He was so cute.
That probably was my first like hardcore TV crush, and I was like, okay. First of all, I know for a fact now I'm gay. I wish I could have seen his Paul, yeah.
Paul.
And they kept blurring him, and he was in the army. But what was really nice about that was I didn't feel like Danny was too feminine. I didn't think he was too masculine. I think he really was an average gay guy.
Yeah.
Another show that was on about the time was My So-Called Life. and they had a gay character on there. And
Ricky?
Ricky was very flamboyant. So it was complete opposite, and it played against the stereotype a little bit. But Danny, for sure, was the first time I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I get this. There's gays on TV now. And then, of course, Will and Grace in high school. I was in high school. You were, what, middle school, high school?
Yeah.
And I didn't really watch Will and Grace just for the simple fact that I knew I was gay, but I didn't want
someone to out you.
Right. So
Yeah,
I
same.
thought if I watched Will and Grace, like my family would find out or they would suspect. So I tried not to watch it, even though I had an aunt who was very intuitive, would always ask me, "Oh, do you watch this new show, Will and Grace?" No,
Yeah.
I don't watch that.
I thought they knew when I watched Gem when I was little.
Well, of
You know
course
what you
they-
would have thought my mom did after how many times I wanted to watch Xanadu
God.
and Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and I was
Love
like, I
it.
knew all the brides' names, I knew all the brothers' names. I was like, yes.
You know what's really funny is I felt uncomfortable watching Will and Grace on TV. Although I watched Ellen, and I remember watching that episode live with my parents.
Wow.
And their reaction was fine. It was very normal. My mom was like, "Okay, that was groundbreaking. The show's over. Next." But I used to watch RuPaul on VH1 religiously, like in front of my parents. And my dad came in one day, and he's like, "What the hell is all of this?" And I'm like, "Isn't it great?" Like, I don't even know if I mean, obviously I knew Rue was a drag queen, but I don't know if I knew exactly what a drag queen was. But I just thought he was fabulous. He had big hair, wore fabulous gowns. So for me, like, I don't know, there were just some weird things.
Well, and Willow on Buffy. I was a huge Buffy
Yes.
fan, and watching Willow and Tara like develop their relationship, I was like, oh, look, two nice
I'm so
same-sex
glad you brought
people
that up. Yeah.
like living their best lives. Like,
And to me, like,
I mean, till Tara died.
yeah,
But
and that was hard.
Spoiler alert! I
Oh.
hope I never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
she died in like 2003. So if you haven't watched it in 15 years,
Yeah.
you deserve the spoiler.
The entire show's over. Yeah, that was another big one. I'm glad you brought that up because, and I love how Joss Whedon always did things on Buffy. He didn't make a big deal out of it, and he always some kind of worked into some kind of supernatural aspect of like social issues and stuff. But for them, Willow and Tara coming together was so organic on the show. It did not seem like it was put there as a political play or to appease the masses by any. It just seemed like normal life to me. And I loved how they went about doing it. The friends, Buffy had a little bit of an issue. It wasn't that she was upset, but I think she felt like she didn't know her friend. And so finding out this information kind of took her back a bit. And then by the end of the episode, she's like, of course I love you and I'm fine with this. But I think, and then I don't want to talk about Buffy the whole time, although I could.
we could do another episode.
I know, right? But I thought it was really great. And it's one of my favorite love stories of all time on TV. But those are some old shows that we used to watch. So now I want to talk about like some modern shows because now I feel like there is a token gay on every single show. So I just listed some. So Grey's Anatomy, go Shonda for always having.
Well, and Grace just got a gay man.
Right.
We've had
lesbians,
females.
yeah.
We've had them
Kelly
for
in
several.
Arizona.
Yep, and we've had Kelly's been out for several, probably a decade because that show's been on so long.
I
But-
quit Grey's. I'm like, it's longer than ER now.
Right.
Oh, we'll do an episode on Grey's Anatomy.
No, I like.
Just-
Do you watch How to Get Away with Murder?
Yes, and that was next on my list. How to Get Away with Murder.
Shonda's, inclusive of anyone. She's like the new Oprah. I love her.
Connor and Oliver, everything. They're
Oh,
so cute.
so cute.
And Connor is actually from Ann Arbor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a
Really?
734 tattoo.
Does he come visit often?
Maybe
He
he'll-
is in Michigan sometimes. He posts on his Instagram.
Maybe then come
Jack.
on our podcast. We're talking to you.
Right.
We're talking to you, Jack.
Come on over anytime. Let us
Yeah.
know. Don't wear a shirt. It's fine. American Horror Story.
Oh yeah. Well, Ryan Murphy's gay.
Ryan Murphy, of course, but the creator of Glee. So, Ryan Murphy's been great. Of course, as a gay man himself, he's always pushing. But American Horror Story always has some kind of a gay.
Didn't Ryan Murphy do the Versace show that I'm watching right
Yes.
now? And Darren Criss? Okay.
That's why Darren Criss was on. Well, Darren Criss is a great actor.
Yeah.
But I think it really worked out.
Ryan Murphy
And
stays loyal to his people.
Yeah. So does
Clearly.
Shonda. So does
yes,
Shonda.
Yes.
And that's why they're all kind of on, like, you see these crossovers between all of them, so the actors. So, and doesn't he do the 911? I don't think it.
Oh,
I
was
think
it
that's
the
Brad
FX?
Fulchuk, which
Okay.
is one of his like BFFs. And
Oh,
he does
but
a
it's
lot
an
of-
FX show, right?
911 is Fox. So like FX Fox, I think they're all owned by the same parent company.
Is that not the same? Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're probably housed all under the same production company or something.
And of course, we have RuPaul's Drag Race, which is huge.
When is the new one starting?
Soon, I hope. I think September.
Oh, fun.
Well, and they've won now RuPaul's won best reality host 2 years in a row. But this last year they actually won the Emmy for best reality competition, which was huge.
Well, it's so big now. It's so mainstream. And I remember an interview that Ru did with, I can't remember the late night talk show host, but she said Drag Race will never be in the mainstream. And I love it. Is now. Everybody, straight men watch it. Everyone watches Drag Race.
Oh, there's parties at bars now. Yeah.
And I mean, our culture and our slang have been defined by that show.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Shade, the new Taylor Swift song, literally talks about shade, and and
not to mention that there were 20 drag queens in that. So another show, Pose. Obviously, we have to talk about Pose because that's really given a voice and our trans brothers and sisters out there. And I think just like Will and Grace and some of those other shows that had huge gay and lesbian appearances in it, or I think it's really making people understand and feel comfortable now with trans people, which even as a gay male, I know early on there's been times that I've gone out and I've not really felt comfortable. I don't know why I'm insecure that way, but now I feel so much more comfortable. And I think it's because
visibility matters.
Yeah, visibility does matter. And so I think Pose is brilliant. I love that show. I'm ready to watch it.
And I think also like Orange is the New Black with Laverne Cox.
Laverne Cox.
What a trendsetter for the transgender community, and her work on Orange is the New Black and what she's doing, and I think it really gave birth to a new trans visibility movement.
And just absolutely beautiful too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think when people think of trans people, they automatically think a man in a dress or someone who's very masculine wearing a dress, and it's that's not.
That's why it was so hard, I think, for people to accept Bruce Jenner to
so
Caitlyn's
too,
transition. They saw him as this athlete and this Olympian, and they weren't really understanding that who he wanted to be as his true self.
In that whole transition in the public eye,
I can't imagine.
Listen, I don't agree with Bruce Jenner's political side, and honestly, I'm not a fan of his. But the courage it took for him to do that in the public eye, it's amazing. And good
agreed.
for you.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So what about stereotypes in TV shows? Because we talked about how Danny was a little bit, I called him the average gay male, in my opinion. I think all my friends are Danny, basically. Do you think it's good to have more effeminate or more masculine or just normal, average? I don't want to say normal because obviously people are people, but do you think it's okay to write a flamboyant character in?
You mean how they write Jack as opposed to Will?
Right. Yes. And there are flamboyant people and there's masculine gay men too.
Right. I think flamboyant brings more of a comedy aspect to it.
Right. And again, that's a stereotype.
It is a stereotype.
But it's kind of true.
It is.
I love when my Queenie friends come in hey girl.
I mean, but when we get around each other and we've had a couple, our octaves definitely go up a little bit and the slang definitely starts. And I remember, I have an older gay brother, and one time we were sitting at the table and I thought he was talking to you guys, and I was like, okay girl, and he was like, did you just call me girl?
I had to explain that to a straight male friend, and I was like, oh girl, and he was like, why are you calling me that? And I was like, it's just, it is what it is. But no, I was thinking about that, and especially I think in the late 90s, because the other one besides Jack I thought was Stanford on Sex and the City, which was very popular mainstream, and he was also a gay character that I saw right off the bat, and I was also very Queenie.
I mean, but did you not laugh your ass off at Anthony? Anthony cracked me up on Sex and the City, and he was so flamboyant. But it was funny. It's good comedy.
Yeah. No, and then
I also think like comedy, like how Will was crazy on Will and Grace,
Right.
and like very straight laced, like that, it's funny.
yeah, I was thinking about that. So that was 2 decades ago, right? And then I think about like some of the gays on TV today. Like I think Riverdale does a really, really great job of like those kids in high school are just okay with gay kids.
Right.
Like they didn't have to come out to each other. Like I think it's Kevin is the character on. That's gay, and like he like does like some shady stuff or whatever, but it's a teen drama.
Right.
But he also like in the first season when I watched it, I was like, oh, he's just walking around, everyone's okay with him being gay. Like, I was fearful to come out in high school, and here's this kid walking around, and he's
It's
like,
a different time now.
It is true.
Definitely a different time, and it's part of me is very jealous of the fact that these kids now can come out at 13. I came out at 18. And it was very scary. Like I didn't know how people were going to act, and now people are just like, "Oh yeah, so and so's gay." My nieces and nephews have gay friends, and that blows my mind. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's a different world, but it's also a scarier world too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people feel more safe coming out and stuff, but it's definitely scary still.
Yeah.
Like I remember, after the Pulse shooting, I was definitely scared to go out and like go to
Definitely.
a bar. Like there's been some shootings lately. Like it's a whole thing now.
No, after the Pulse nightclub and the last general election, that's when I found you guys. That's when I found I was like I felt the need for community. I felt the need to band together, just to make sure that I felt safe and I felt comfortable and in those safe spaces, which I know a lot of people like judge or like, oh, safe spaces, snowflakes, whatever. But like, no, in times of crisis, in times of need, like
We just all want to feel safe.
you seek out support system. You do it with family, you do it with friends.
Right.
And to wrap up my whole topic here, do you think that the exposure now that we have on TV, do you think that's why that in our culture we're seeing kids coming out at an early age? Do you think that's why we're seeing communities bond and get closer together because it's so mainstream and accepting now?
100%. I think, like we said, visibility matters, and like the more you see it on network TV, like Will and Grace on NBC and Glee on Fox and A Modern Family on ABC, which was like the highest rated like family comedy, and it featured two gay men and living their I hate using the word normal, use a stereotypical American life of two
A married couple
family.
adopting a child.
Exactly. I think that's super super important.
Well, a TV show that is about to hit that is not gay when you think about is Eric 90210 is coming back.
Yes,
I love that
there were.
theme song.
I was trying to think if there were any gay characters, but anyways, yes, 90210 is premiering tomorrow, and you had mentioned earlier Riverdale, Luke Perry, rest in peace.
Yes.
I would have liked to see the whole original 8. But yeah, I am super stoked. I've been watching Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling's interviews all day. What is something funny is they were giving interviews today, and Tori Spelling was talking with Andy Cohen, and she was talking about
love you some Andy Cohen.
I want to be Andy Cohen endgame. Like, she was talking about how she had never been asked to be a Beverly Hills housewife, and Jenny Garth had asked to be, had been asked like 2 years ago. And Tori was saying how she is basically the iconic Beverly Hills daughter. Like, she grew up in Beverly Hills. She was the daughter of Aaron Spelling. Like, she got on this show without her father's help and landed the role of Donna. Donna Martin graduates. Like, so
Let
many.
Donna Martin graduate.
I
Let
mean,
Donna
that's
Martin
probably
graduate.
why he wrote her as a virgin the whole show. But I am super stoked. I was kind of bummed to find out that it's not actually like a reboot of the show, like they're doing all these reboots now.
Yeah, so explain how this is going down.
So the way I understand it is it's going to be like a 6-episode series, but it's like a mockumentary of them like close to themselves, like close to their personalities, but not exactly, trying to get 90210 back on the air.
So is it like Tori Spelling?
It's like
playing-
Tori, Jason, Jenny, like
So, like-
versions of themselves, I
Okay.
believe.
So they're playing themselves.
I believe
They're
that's
not
the
playing
premise.
probably
Donna.
a characterization of themselves.
Interesting.
Yes, but
Okay.
not exactly themselves,
Okay.
but like a little more, I don't know.
Over the top,
Over
probably.
the top,
or,
yes, yeah.
Or they're taking those stereotypes
Right.
to that extreme.
Matt LeBlanc did that on his show Episodes. He played Matt LeBlanc, but as a like over the top, very needy,
And he was like
diva.
nominated for like Emmys for that. Like
Yeah.
it was like really.
So I like the idea. It's interesting. Yes, but I do wish it was the show.
Oh my
90210.
god, I was obsessed with 90210 when it first came out. Like, that was like a cultural era. Like everyone had the sleeping bags and the buttons and everything. And I mean,
Oh yeah, backpacks, lunchboxes.
that's pretty much when I started to figure out I was gay.
You were paying more attention to Dylan McKay than you were
Dylan,
Brenda
Brandon,
Walsh.
David. Yeah. So I was like, hello. So yeah, that premieres tomorrow. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to my cousin's. We are having a 90210 party with wine.
So jealous I'm not going to be there.
Are you gonna listen to like New Kids on the Block too?
I
Was that the
mean,
same time?
Yeah, New Kids on the Block.
I
was
mean,
around
probably the
same
early
time.
seasons.
Yeah.
Then they got like because they aired from 1990 to 2000. It was the original run was 10 seasons.
Yeah.
1990 to 2000.
Wow.
So I mean that is you guys know I love me some 90s music. So some of those like awesome songs.
I mean, David
like,
had a DJ booth in their high school. Like, who had a DJ booth in their high school that you got to like
the kids in Beverly
listen
Hills.
to this music? But gay issues weren't really something they really tackled on that show.
Do you think, even though it's kind of a parody itself, that they'll?
I don't know. I'm curious to see. Like, they had the one where Kelly like had the single white female girl that was kind of in love with her, and she was trying to be with her, but there wasn't really like a lot of gay issues. But they tackled a lot of issues on that show, like the suicide and gun control,
Rape.
Drugs,
rape, a lot of stuff.
Cults.
I did not like
I
that.
told you I
episode.
didn't like that season.
I always felt like 90210 to me was like the updated, more adult Saved by the Bell.
Oh,
Oh.
not that I watched Saved by the Bell, I was like, it's so terrible.
What?
It's so terrible.
Oh my God! Get out of the room. You're canceled from the podcast.
Well, and like so, you guys have a couple years on me, so I didn't get to like the 90210 till like a little bit later, and I remember like trying to sneak and watch it because I was like, oh, who are these cute men, and like what are they doing? But I really, really do believe that like 90210 gave birth to like the teen soap dramas that I grew up with on the WB.
Oh,
Like,
they opened the door.
exactly. Like
They
we
opened
wouldn't,
the door.
we would not have Dawson's Creek. Or,
Oh, that's how like Melrose Place and everything. And they've already gone through these reboots. Like 90210 and Melrose Place already had their reboots.
Yeah,
on
they
the
did that back
CW.
in like a decade ago.
Yeah.
like
And
2008.
Tori Spelling and Jenny Garth, they were on.
They were
there,
on
right?
it, yeah. And
Even Shannon Doherty came back.
yeah,
for
Shannon
it.
Doherty came back on it.
So is that the talk, like Shannon Doherty and like everyone working with her?
Yeah.
I think they've all made up now. Like her and Kelly were on the old one together, and I think they've worked out all their issues. I think since Shannon has had the cancer scare and everything, it has kind of mellowed her out a little bit. You know, she's very good friends with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sarah
in real life.
Michelle Gellar.
They are, and Michelle Trachtenberg. The three of them are like super duper close.
Sarah Michelle Gellar made her a food train when she was going through
my.
like
and
sorry.
Selma Blair, they're all like
I take that back. It was
besties.
Selma Blair she did it for.
Yeah.
But she's always posting stuff about Shannon Doherty and the breast cancer fight, and yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar is loyal to her like
Right.
BFFs.
Well,
like,
I was a huge Charm fan as well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so Shannon was on there, and she did not get along with the cast, and so,
and that was also an Aaron Spelling show.
yeah, and they killed her off. So. You think it as a parody? Like, I mean, it's a parody. They're playing over top versions of their stuff. She has to play a bitch.
Like, I wonder if they're even going to address the Dylan thing, because me and Josh were talking about how we watched old episodes the other day, and I watched the episode where Rebecca Gayheart, Dylan's wife, died, and it was traumatizing.
The rain's coming down.
Screaming, Brandon, they killed her. I was like,
It's
I'm gonna cry. I
so-
cannot
yeah.
watch this anymore.
It's so sad.
Well,
so sad.
I mean, that leads us kind of like, who do you think was the hottest guy in 90210?
Well,
Let's play a game.
Well, we're gonna do that now. I was okay. So
Are we including Dylan?
We're not including Dylan.
Okay.
We're not including Dylan. So we thought we would end the podcast with a little bit of Fuck, Marry, Kill. And for obvious reasons, we're not including Luke Perry. Rest in peace. We love you. We probably all do nasty things to you. But so it comes down to, we're going to do the original three other ones. David Silver, played by Brian Austin Green. Jason Priestley, who portrayed Brandon Walsh. And Steve
Sanders.
Oh, Steve Sanders.
He was played by Ian Ziering. I don't know.
Ian,
Ian,
yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You go first, because this is your crew.
Well, naturally, you marry Brandon Walsh. I mean, who doesn't marry Brandon Walsh? Who doesn't want Jim and Cindy as their in-laws? Come on. I always had a crush on David. David was always my favorite. He could dance. Like, I always thought, and look at the man Brian Austin Green has grown up to be. Like, he was in that show, Freddie, with Freddie Prinze Jr., and I think that's when he made his first real comeback from, like, when 90210 ended, and I was like, oh my God, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Like, he is hot. And I would kill Steve. 100%.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, CJ.
Okay, so yes, Brian Austin Green, hot. He was in Desperate Housewives, always shirtless.
What?
Yes,
He had sex with Brie. Like, Marsha Cross was his love interest.
always shirtless.
Yeah.
I think I left when Jesse Metcalf left.
He was also, and if you watch Smallville, he played a role in Smallville, and he again was always shirtless. So, fuck David. Yes, Brian Austin Green for sure. I've always been a Steve fan. I married one, so I'd have to say I always had a crush on Ian. I would probably marry Ian. And then
You are not about to kill Brandon Walsh.
I never had a thing for Brandon.
That
I don't
is
know
like
why.
Steve, really, CJ? That's like saying Danny is your favorite new kid. Nobody, or what's that other kid? Chris Kirkpatrick on NSYNC.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's
No
your
one
favorite
likes
NSYNC member. Come
No
on.
one likes
I was a Joey Fatone.
I mean,
so,
definitely Steve has grown into a good-looking man. He is a good-looking man, but yet never my favorite.
no, I don't know. Brandon always had the look. He was a little too preppy for me. His hair. Come on. No. No. Give me some surfer boy or some just dirty lawn boy with the shirt off any day.
Actually, you just want the boy with the mother who was an actress on TV and let him drive around a Corvette.
Sure. Why not?
I love that we all have different ones. So, I'm marrying Brendan Walsh. I'm marrying that hair. I am marrying that like 1960s kind of dreamboat that he kind of portrayed. I'm having sex with Ian. I'm doing Steve Sanders in the back of that Corvette.
Really?
Yep, I'm doing it, and I'm the only DJ that I need, so I'm killing off. He can have Megan Fox. Sorry, like not a thing. Brian Austin Green does not do a thing for me. So
Oh, wow.
take your third name and go somewhere else. Yeah, but
Okay, yes.
so-
Different versions for
That was,
everybody.
yeah, that's crazy that all three of us have different opinions on
Well,
that.
so if they all three walked in right now, no one
Oh!
would be upset.
You're right. We could all.
Well, we're both marrying Brandon.
Well, then I guess I'm walking away with Steve. Wait. So
I'll
then-
take David. You can have Brandon. He can have Steve.
Okay, there it is. So the cast of BH 90210 airing on Wednesdays on. I don't even know what show it is. It on Fox?
Is it on Fox?
I don't know if it's on Fox. I think it's on Fox.
I can't imagine that some other network would. let
Right, that's
that-
where it started. Like Fox, yeah, that was like a
Yeah, the Melrose.
Yeah, that's
Beverly Hills
where it-
90210.
Fox lost American Idol now, so
secret's out.
But although when they rebooted 90210 and they just called it
It went to the
90210,
CW.
it was a CW.
CW took over all the little tween dramas and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, that's where the WB went to rest.
if you need some drama and some eye candy, just turn on CW.
Oh yeah, that Riverdale. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I'm like, are all these? Are these
I
are there
heard Mark
18?
Consuelos is on that.
Oh, he is, and he is
Yes,
daddy.
yes,
he
yes,
is
yes.
Daddy AF.
Yes.
He still has it.
Yes. Oh yeah. Kelly Ripa did
Mr.
real
Kelly
well.
Ripa is living his best life.
Yeah,
Very much
she's
so.
living her best life. Like there was going to the beach somewhere. I feel like, and I'm like, man.
He could have all my children.
Oh, good pun.
They're always in that locker room too, just
Yeah.
shirts off.
Oh, it's just like gratuitous shirtless guys. Like, it's
Okay, I'm gonna have
ridiculous.
to watch the show.
Oh,
Yes.
It's so ridiculous. And like, not to go on a more tangent down this, like the one girl opens a speakeasy. I'm like, you are in high school. How are you
Yep.
opening a speakeasy? And where? Yo,
Well, that was like the kids on 90210,
Yeah.
like Dylan at his own house in this Porsche, and like,
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the Peach Pet.
yeah. And then,
and then they got the Peach Pit after dark.
After
later
dark.
years, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and they-
wonder, is Nat still alive? Is Nat gonna be on it?
Joey Tata or whatever. his-
No.
The Peach Pit after dark. That sounds a little dirty. I like it.
Yeah, that's where like drugs start coming to play. And,
The back rooms open up.
oh,
That's when Colin came into play and made Kelly a cokehead.
This is my kind of shit.
And then Ray
now.
Pruitt used to beat Donna up. I was so sad.
this is
I wonder if Tiffany. Oh, she dropped the Amber.
Yeah.
So Tiffany Thiessen, Kelly Kapowski. Then she came out as Valerie Malone. I wonder if she'll make a guest appearance if it gets picked up for a second season.
yeah, curious. Well, we'll just all have to find out and see. But thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of Gayest Podcast Ever. Check out our socials, our Instagram, Gayest Podcast Ever, our Twitter, Gayest Podcast, and on Instagram or on Facebook, it's also Gayest Podcast Ever. And subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. And we'll be coming at you back in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.